This is Identity at the Center.
Side has been unbelievable. I mean, there are many different solutions out there that I'm very impressed by, but I still searched for who's going to solve this B2B user management problem. Because here's the thing, it's like the single sign-on piece, I'm not going to say it was easy to solve because I wasn't a part of solving it, but it was, most companies don't have a huge variance in terms of how they authenticate. But when you talk about delegated administration within B2B, there's a huge variance. And so the approach that I saw the most was companies would go out there and build an application to solve this specific problem. That is like one of the very few areas in enterprise IT where people will go out and build their own applications for anymore. And so when I saw that you guys had basically built a product around that, I was like, okay, I really need to dig in because to me, you can't even take the basics for granted, like what I call a dealer or a franchise or a brokerage. Another firm that's in the exact same space may call it something different. And then they may have different hierarchical models. And let me start with the question, why did you even want to solve that problem? It's such a hard problem to solve. Why don't you just pick something easier to solve and just focus on doing the best job at that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a question I've asked myself a couple of times in the past 25 years as well. Why didn't do something easy? Because I've never been in an easy space. I think it's it's almost like the only white space left in our field. I also believe this is the future white space. So I mean, then if that's the case, then obviously it's logical for us to jump in. Let's break down B2B a bit to what it really is, because as you rightly said, it's a lot of different things. So it is business customers. That's simple. I mean, it's somebody ordering something in your company on behalf of another company. Still, there's some mandation behind it because, I mean, a company cannot order, a person within the company will order. So secondly, it's usually the ecosystems that you need to manage, which can be somewhere when you're in an R&D department, but later on when there's a supply chain, there will be vendors, there will be tons of different people. If it's capital goods, most likely afterwards, there's also a service ecosystem to manage. So, I mean, when the ecosystems get big, and then obviously the challenge is very big as well. And then a third, more or less, main case is, what we indeed say, it's the dealers, the brokers, agents, the business to consumer most of the time, or sometimes business to consumer, or no consumer in the end. So, I mean, all these kind of things you somehow need to be able to cover with, product capabilities. That's obviously a challenge. We focused on that from 2020 onwards, more or less. So very strong capabilities in delegation, because this is obviously where it needs to start. It's a different thing also from the IGA side, because you're not talking about a scope you're partly talking about a scope of people you do not have access to. And they will be invited to, for instance, use systems that you make available to others. Second critical capability is what we call fine-grade authorization. And the other thing which we typically see in a lot of these kind of scenarios is distributed identity. So you're using the identity which is outside of what you control. So then orchestration comes into place as well. These are the modules we have to actually cope with the complexity. And obviously it depends on which kind of customer scenario. A B2B2C insurance company is different than what we, for instance, do for the European Central Bank. Just to give you that example, any bank has to log in the ECB, but it's not a bank logging in, it's somebody. So there will be a super user. That super user can assign other users. That may actually be super users to assign other users.
That's right.
So you see how far away from your direct visibility of control it is.
You've been listening to Identity at the Center. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hit the website at identityatthecenter.com. See you next time on Identity at the Center.